Welcome back to the channel. Today's gonna be another book review, and I haven't finished this book. I just started it. I just started reading it. I only read a couple pages. I'm already hooked on it. Let's show you Chronicles of the Future. Chronicles of the Future. That's what this book is. Like I said, I only read a couple pages, as you can see, just a few. But let's get into it. In 1921, Paul Amadeus, a Swiss artisan teacher with fragile health, falls into a one-year-long coma. During this time, his consciousness slides into the future and enters the body of another man, Andreas Norton, in the year 3906 AD. When Amadeus awakens from his coma, he finds himself back in 1922. Knowing that he doesn't have much time left, he writes a diary, recording whatever he could remember from the amazing experience without any close friends and relatives to entrust. He doesn't say a word to anyone out of fear of being branded a lunatic. Before he dies, he hands his diary to his favorite student, George Papachassis, later prominent professor of administrative law, rector of Pantheon University of Social and Political Sciences, and vice president of the Council of State. All right, that's just I don't want to read the whole thing, but basically, this book, The Amazing Story of Paul Amadeus, Chronicles from the Future. Again, here's the view of the book. Who knows? I don't know if what he experienced was just on his mind. Did he really go into the future? Who knows? But basically, it's just his diary, which I love, because the diary goes back to even before, like for example, first diary, remembrance from the past. And he basically goes into, you read little portions of his diary of when he was young, and you know, he had this crush with this next door neighbor. When he got older, he really was in love with her, and how that affected him when she ended up marrying someone else and then passing away not too long after the marriage. And like his life from the diaries was a lot of sad moments in his life, a lot of sad moments. And then on top of that, his health, never being 100% health-wise, and then landing into comas. Because when you read this, you realize it wasn't just one time that he landed in a coma. It was several times until the very last one, which lasted for, I believe, close to a year, a little bit more than a year. And I stopped reading it because I got to the point where now, let me read you, it says here, this is where I stopped reading, because I didn't want to keep going. It says here, A New Life in Athens, October 20th, 1922. So obviously, this is now him going like not to the future, but that's when things start to change for him. And then he goes into the truth about his sickness, and so on and so forth. But anyways, and this is the part, meeting the leaders of the future and revealing his true identity. All right, so he basically, and who knows what went through, what happened to him when he was in a coma for that long. Remember, it was several times, and each time it seemed like the coma lasted longer and longer every time he went into a coma. So yeah, he never told no one until finally towards the end of his life, he gave the book to someone. But other than that, he kept it to himself, because think about it. You was in a coma, you tell this story, no one's gonna believe it. They're just gonna tell you it's all in your head, when you think about it, yeah, you're right, it's all in his head, right? But who knows what the mind is? Who knows what the mind is? Let's be thinking, who knows what happens after death? What happens when we go to sleep and we dream? What is these things that occur when we are in the dream-like state while we are sleeping. Even scientists to this day don't understand why we dream. They may have some speculation of why, but there is no concrete evidence of the reasons for why we dream while we are sleeping. What is the point of it? What does it do? What is the function of it, right? So, who knows what happens when you are dreaming? Or in this case, while you're in a year-long coma. Because obviously, as you can see from the size of the book, it's about 371 pages. 371 pages. That is a lot of detail that was written onto of what he experienced while in the coma, and how the future is, and the people he met in the future, and the love life that he I think he ended up. Remember, I somewhat had someone. I watched someone kind of summarize the book for me, so I kind of have an idea of what happened to him in the future. But it seemed like he lived another life during that whole year in the coma. That is amazing. That alone is like, whoa. Because there are times where I've had a dream, and afterwards, when I wake up, it's like that was real. I just experienced a real moment. Maybe not the physical, but whatever my conscience went to, that thing really happened. And so who's to say what this man went through during the year-long coma, who's to say that his consciousness was someone else? Because we do have evidence of people who went into a coma or they were clinically pronounced dead, and then they came back alive. But when they were dead, they were able to see the doctors on top of them, shocking them with the, heart monitor, whatever you call that thing. So we do have some instances where people feel as though when their consciousness, they know. They see everything happening, and then next you know, when they come back alive, the consciousness goes back into their body. There's a lot of things that we have no knowledge of that we still trying to figure out. And this is why I picked up this book, because I was so interested to see his experience. I want to read his experience on his year-long coma and the place that he went to. He went to the future, to a world and the way he depicts it is like, whoa. Even if it's not real, it's all in his mind. That is still an amazing thing to go through. To have to experience something where to the point where, no, I lived it. You felt it. It's like it's in your soul, so to speak. Man, you can't beat that. So if you're interested into like sci-fi or mystery type, I don't know, something that deals with consciousness and where that can go, and someone who experiences it, who's had experienced it, and also this man is a real man. This thing did happen to him. Like, you can look it up. This did happen. He was a sickly man, and he was always in the hospital, and he was several times in his life in a coma. And every time he went into a coma, he was in it longer than the time before. So I think this will be, I haven't read the whole book yet. I will do a part 2 on this when I'm done. I will do a part 2 because I want to see, because I still haven't, I don't know what his experience of the future is. I really don't know yet. So I'm gonna get into it. So I definitely will be a part 2 to this story, and I'll let you know all about it. But at the same time, I would like for you guys to, pick it up. If you're into books and you're into type of sci-fi, mystery, type of futuristic type thing, this is it right here. How much does it cost? Doesn't say. I don't remember the price of it. But anyways, I think this will be a good book to pick up if you're into futuristic things and a combination of several things, future and sci-fi, and because there's also a love story in here, because he really is impacted by the death of his mother, and then also the death of the one that he loved since childhood, and then she also passes away at a very young age. So it seems like, you know, just him being sick and all these different things in his life happening, and it's just, I don't know, it's just an overall story that, even though I haven't read it fully, I'm captivated by it. I want to read more. And if you're into sci-fi and future, whatever, pick this book up. I think you guys will like it. Keep this video short and sweet. Thank you again for watching the video. Again, check out the podcast by the same name, Reason Through Time. Again, the podcast, I speak of everything, and I stay up to date with current news. I speak on politics and things that are going on. I'm more edgier there because I speak on everything. Definitely check it out. It's on pretty much all platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Castbox, GeoSaving, iHeartRadio, like you name it, it's gonna be on there. So you can find me. Just look up Reason Through Time. And yeah, until next time, peace.